Humans aren't born out of laying around on their asses. We've been born out of conquering a world. We're the dominant species. We built all this. We're powerful, and we're beautiful, and we're ready to build the next level of civilization in God's plan. But you must stop bowing to those who want to make you a victim. You must become the victor. If you love God and you want to build a pro-human future, then you are an enemy of the New World Order and Satanism. They want us shut down because we have the spirit. I'm jacked into the source. I know the secret, and I want to see you empowered. But you have to believe in yourself first. This is the truth, and everyone knows it.
The 98th Emperor of the Holy Britannian Empire.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you a question. And it's a very pertinent, very important question as it relates to tariffs. If tariffs are so awful, if they're so draconian, if they crush economies and cause instability, why, in the name of God, was every country tariffing us? Why was every country tariffing us on basically everything that we exported? Why was it that some of the tariffs were disproportionate to the tune of like over 100% difference? If tariffs are so bad, if they're so just completely crippling, if after 2 days of tariffs, the Nintendo Switch jumps $100 and, everything is going to be more expensive. It's like, if that's the way that it actually is, and these subtards, these low IQ degenerate leftist freaks who hate America, if they're right about this, why were they silent about other countries tariffing us? It's because this has nothing to do with tariffs. This has to do with these people not wanting a stronger America. They don't want America to start making things again. What they want is cheap products at the lowest possible cost, even if it's slave labor in China. They don't care. They do not care. They want to walk into a Starbucks. They want to be able to pay their $6 for like a 16-ounce coffee. And they just want their consumerism. They just want their things for cheap. That's what the left is it's been this way for, over a decade. Well over a decade. These people just want their stuff for cheap. They don't care if it's made in America. But a lot of people do, because they understand that all of this has been extremely short-sighted. That bringing manufacturing back to the United States, incentivizing companies to stay here, and putting a little bit of a penalty on companies to go elsewhere, Trump is right on this. The tariffs have been a huge incentive point. But all of these backbenchers that have been wrong about everything in the media, and all of these people that have never actually had a day's work in their life, are all coming out to give their opinion on Twitter about how tariffs are so bad. Trump is crashing the economy. Trump has made it perfectly clear it's going to get worse before it gets better, because the last 4 years have been an absolute abomination. And he's not wrong. But if you look at what Trump has done in the first nearly 100 days, well, you think about it. Think about the investments that he talks about from all of these companies, to the tune of nearly $5 trillion. Like, he usually lists them off. But this is Trump's Liberation Day tariff announcement. And I want to go through this because there are so many people that are just full of shit on this and don't understand what tariffs are, and they just don't like Trump. Orange man bad, America bad. That's their narrative. America is only good. Like Michelle Obama. For the first time in my adult life, I'm proud of my country. They're only proud of America when it's doing despicable, evil things. Like promoting LGBTQ Sesame Street in the middle of Abu Dhabi. Like, only when it's wasting taxpayer money and affirming everything that they've ever believed that's wrong and evil and depraved and degenerate, only then are they proud of America. These are anti-American, anti-human, really, freaks. And so, yeah, these people are against tariffs because they don't understand tariffs. They don't understand what tariffs are. They don't understand how they're a leverage. They're all about leverage. And by the way, Trump has made it perfectly clear, if you lower the tariffs in your country, we'll lower the tariffs in ours. I mean, I think there's more to it than that, but these are not necessarily permanent tariffs, and they're going to bring in a lot of money to the country.
This is Liberation Day. Waiting for a long time. April 2nd, 2025 will forever be remembered as the day American industry was reborn, the day America's destiny was reclaimed, and the day that we began to make America wealthy again. Going to make it wealthy, good and wealthy. For decades, our country has been looted, pillaged, raped, and plundered by nations near and far, both friend and foe alike. American steel workers, auto workers, farmers, and skilled craftsmen, we have a lot of them here with us today. They really suffered gravely. They watched in anguish as foreign leaders have stolen our jobs, foreign cheaters have ransacked our factories, and foreign scavengers have torn apart our once beautiful American dream. We had an American dream that you don't hear so much about. You did 4 years ago, and you are now, but you don't too often, and for many years and decades even, you didn't hear too much about. Our country and its taxpayers have been ripped off for more than 50 years, but it is not going to happen anymore. It's not going to happen. In a few moments, I will sign a historic executive order instituting reciprocal tariffs on countries throughout the world. Reciprocal, that means they do it to us and we do it to them. Very simple. Can't get any simpler than that. This is one of the most important days, in my opinion, in American history. It's our declaration of economic independence. For years, hardworking American citizens were forced to sit on the sidelines as other nations got rich and powerful, much of it at our expense. But now it's our turn to prosper, and in so doing, use trillions and trillions of dollars to reduce our taxes and pay down our national debt, and it'll all happen very quickly. With today's action, we are finally going to be able to make America great again, greater than ever before. Jobs and factories will come roaring back into our country, and you see it happening already. We will supercharge our domestic industrial base. We will pry open foreign markets and break down foreign trade barriers. And ultimately, more production at home will mean stronger competition and lower prices for consumers. This will be indeed the golden age of America. It's coming back, and we're going to come back very strongly. We're pleased to be joined on this momentous occasion by Vice President J.D. Vance. J.D., thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Where are you, J.D.? No, that wasn't too hard to find. I was looking, you know, he likes to take a low-key attitude, so usually we sit right in front. He's gaining a lot of confidence, Mike, isn't it? And nearly my entire cabinet is here, as well as Speaker Mike Johnson, who's done an amazing job.
Well, no.
And with
but-
the great success we had last night in Florida, we have a majority of 7. And 7's like a lot when we had it at 1, right? You've done a fantastic job. And many of the members of the House and Senate are with us. Senators, congressmen, thank you all for being with us. We appreciate it. For decades, the United States slashed our trade barriers on other countries while those nations placed massive tariffs on our products and created outrageous non-monetary barriers to decimate our industries. And in many cases, the non-monetary barriers were worse than the monetary ones. They manipulated their currencies, subsidized their exports, stole our intellectual property, imposed exorbitant VAT taxes to disadvantage our products.
Yeah, that's a huge one. VAT tax is just a fancy, it's just a fancy word for tariff. Yeah, so basically, the VAT tax is something that in America we don't necessarily have to deal with, but it's pretty egregious. To be perfectly honest, the VAT tax is absolutely terrible.
Adopted unfair rules and technical standards and created filthy pollution havens. They were absolutely filthy, but they always came to us and they said, we're violating, we should pay for it. It's all detailed in a very big report by the U.S. Trade Representative on foreign trade barriers, and I'll just hold it up for you. It's available, and you don't have to pay too much. As I understand it, you'll pay nothing. It's a lot of work. A lot of work for something, actually, because it's a special book. It's frankly, it's very upsetting when you read it, when you see what people have been doing to us for 30 years. This all happened with no response from the United States of America, none whatsoever. But those days are over. Let me offer just a few examples of the vicious attacks our workers have faced for so many years. The United States charges other countries only a 2.4 tariff on motorcycles. Meanwhile, Thailand and others are charging much higher prices, like 60%. India charges 70%. Vietnam charges 75%, and others are even higher than that. Likewise.
Huh. Interesting. So, India can charge exorbitant tariffs, and their economy is okay, and they're not, completely eroding, and they can do that, but we can't. We can't tariff anything, because if we do, it's we're gonna destroy the economy. It's bullshit. These people who are so-called experts, these people are freaks. They have an anti-American mindset. They don't want this country to get better. They don't give a shit about blue-collar workers. And people like myself do. Very much so. I want manufacturing to come back into the United States and people here to make our products. Because I think that one of the major issues in why America culturally has fallen to the place where it is because we basically outsourced everything. We don't really have pride in anything that we make anymore because we don't make anything. It's like there are certain products that, in America we do excel at. But for the majority of stuff, it's always, we have to import this, the products have to be made in China. No, I think that we should be making the products here. I think we should be making the steel, pharmaceuticals, whatever you want to call it, cars, trucks, microchips. I think Trump's mentality is absolutely right. We should be making it here. And the thing is, if stuff is too expensive because we don't use slave labor to get it done, I'm willing to accept that things go up in price because we're not using slave labor anymore, because people are actually earning a wage now. Am I crazy for that? For not wanting slave wages. Oh, well, we can keep the price down of your sneakers because Nike makes them in, Thailand for $1. It's like, wouldn't it be nice to have a product that you can actually have some pride in from America and know, wow, this wasn't a product that was made in the worst possible conditions humanly possible? Just saying. I'm all for Trump's tariffs. I think that they're great, and I think the people who promote this, tariffs are going to destroy us. Well, they didn't destroy those countries. They didn't destroy those countries tariffing us. Amazing, huh? Isn't that interesting? America can defend all these other nations with our military. We can send aid to anyone who needs it. We can do everything for everyone. But the moment that we ask for anything in return, you notice how everything suddenly turns to, oh, the world is ending. God, you people on the left, you're subhuman animals. You're genuinely the most low IQ and reprehensible and stupid and pathetic people I've ever seen. It's unbelievable that you live in one of the greatest countries in the world and yet have not availed yourself of any of the wonderful benefits. Instead, you just sit there and you complain and you spew ignorant, low IQ, low information bullshit.
Until today, the United States has for decades charged a 2.5 tariff. Think of that, 2.5% on foreign-made automobiles. The European Union charges us more than 10% tariffs, and they...
How do you possibly justify this and say that by Trump adding a reciprocal tariff, how do you say that that's ultimately going to hurt American people? If it is the case that we're being tariffed at 10% and we're tariffing them at 2.5, how are you going to make the case that by upping the tariffs to 10 or to 25, which, by the way, would be about the difference in reverse, how are you going to make the case? How are you going to make the case that, this is a world ender, this is the worst? Get out of here. They can rip us off, but we can't rip them off. It's not even a rip-off. It's an incentive to work here. It's an incentive to make your stuff here. It's so obvious to me that this is bullshit from these people on the left that hate this country.
They have 20% VATs, much, much higher. India charges 70%, and perhaps worst of all are the non-monetary restrictions imposed by South Korea, Japan, and very many other nations. As a result of these colossal trade barriers, 81% of the cars in South Korea are made in South Korea. 94% of the cars in Japan are made in Japan. Toyota sells 1 million foreign-made automobiles into the United States, and General Motors sells almost none. Ford sells very little. None of our companies are allowed to go into other countries. And I say that, friend and foe. And in many cases, the friend is worse than the foe in terms of trade. But such horrendous imbalances have devastated our industrial base and put our national security at risk. I don't blame these other countries at all for this calamity. I blame former presidents and past leaders who weren't doing their job. They let it happen, and they let it happen to an extent that nobody can even believe. That's why, effective at midnight, we will impose a 25% tariff on all foreign-made automobiles.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated.
Well, the American Auto Workers Union seemed to like that. Yeah, I just don't. I think that it's hysteria. I think that there are a lot of low information, low IQ people on Twitter and Reddit that don't understand anything about economics, but fancy themselves as like, I'm a professor. I mean, these people don't know anything about economics other than, oh, I bought bologna, Mom, for like $2, and I bought some bread. Could you make me a sandwich? It's like these people are not experts, and they're trying to dictate. Well, this is going to be so risky. It's such an economic. Yeah, and all of these people saying that the Switch. I mean, the Switch 2 is going to be. It has faced the reality of this pricing, and it's more expensive. It's like you people are dumb. You people are just really, really stupid. The tariffs hadn't even gone into effect yet. It's like all of the parts to make the Nintendo Switch, and then I guarantee you that those products were already in the States before April 2nd. I guarantee you the products were already in the States before April 2nd. So the first wave of them are not even going to be tariff, but more than that, I mean, you'd have to look at what exactly the tariffs are for electronic consumer items. And people don't know that, but they're making the leap in quote unquote logic that it's somehow responsible. It's not. It's pretty obviously not. It's ridiculous. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.